Good morning, everyone. It's Robert from On My Turntable. Hope you're having a great morning this morning. It's Thursday morning. It's a coffee kind of morning. Wanted to continue on with my top 100 list. This time number 30 to 15. And then Thursday I'll wrap it up with 15 to number 1. It's been a fun discovery on these great albums. It could change daily. Just like any list could, because music you feel differently on different days, different months, different years. So these are not set in stone, but still top albums in my opinion anyway. First off, I'd like to thank the vinyl community for just being there. You guys are amazing. It's a great place to go for support and love and friendship and enjoyment and great learning. Everyone's unique, everyone's different, which is cool, in a good way, by the way. Everyone's supportive as well. Great comments, great suggestions. Yeah, it's in these weird, crazy times. It's nice to know that you can go somewhere and be part of like-minded people. We all may have different bands or artists or songs or albums that we love, don't love, but we don't judge. I haven't noticed it anyway, on people's likes or dislikes, and that's a cool thing. So thank you. So let's get started. It's a pretty big list. Again, not set in stone, but these are albums I picked out, some of my favorites. Also, I picked a lot of debut albums in my top 100 list. I'm not sure why that was. Perhaps maybe their band's best effort, but or just happens to be that I discovered these bands through their debut album and loved them ever since. So, speaking of debut albums, at number 30, Ronnie Montrose and Montrose, In Your Face Rocker, from start to finish, a great album. Of course, featuring and introducing the great Sammy Hagar as vocalist, who went on to have a huge solo career. Also, the second coming of Van Halen. I've got Van Halen's first albums with David Lee Roth. Again, no comparison. Two different bands, in my opinion. Sammy is a better singer. David is a better frontman. But I happen to like both versions of the band. But this one here, it's a rockin' album. Rock the Nation, Bad Motor Scooter, Space Station number 5, I Don't Want It, Good Rockin' Tonight, Rock Candy, One Thing on My Mind, and Make It Last. From start to finish, great album. That's at number 30. At number 29, another debut release from one of my favorite bands. This is Steely Dan, Can't Buy a Thrill. Released in 1972. You've got Do It Again, Dirty Works, Reelin' in the Years. Just those songs alone are enough to make this a top-notch album. You got Jeff Skunk Baxter, guitarist. You've got, of course, Donald Fagen and Walter Becker. Two great artists. Yeah, awesome album. At number 28, Dream Police, Cheap Trick. Fourth studio album by Cheap Trick, released in 1979. Hugely commercially successful album. Number 6 on the Billboard's Top 200. a great energy on this album for sure. You've got Dream Police, Voices, Way of the World, I'll Be With You Tonight. Um, from start to finish, awesome album. Awesome album. Speaking of awesome, at number 27, Brothers in Arms, Dire Straits. A brilliant album. One of the most haunting songs on there, the title track, brings tears to your eyes every time you listen to it. This is 1985's release, their 5th studio album, #1 in most countries, 9 times platinum. You've got So Far Away, Money for Nothing with Sting, fun, much music, MTV video. You've got the haunting Brothers in Arms, as I said earlier. Walk of Life, another fun track. Your Latest Trick, just a remarkable album. If it seems like I'm going through this fast, I don't want this to drag out too long, but I want to get through the 15. I would have dug deeper into these albums, but I'm just kind of pointing out the highlights. So again, I love Dire Straits. I think their Mark Knopfler is one of the greatest guitarists of all time. Finger picking style, which makes his sound unique as well. And yeah, if you don't know Brothers in Arms, listen to that song, and remarkable stuff. Speaking of remarkable, of course, I have to throw in some Canadian content in here, but he's more than Canadian. He's an international star. This is After the Gold Rush, Neil Young. This is number 26. 3rd studio album by the Canadian icon, released in 1970. Album peaked at number 8 on the Billboard charts. Just When I Can Dance, I Can Really Love. Southern Man, of course, controversial song. Leonard Skinner didn't appreciate it all that well. And Only Love Can Break Your Heart, another cool track off of this one. Neil was just peaking at that time, and after receiving his box set, I'm really digging and getting into his stuff. Remarkable songwriter, remarkable artist, and unique vocal style, of course. But that's what makes him great, is just his uniqueness. So again, After the Gold Rush, number 26. At number 25, another band that I love, Breakfast in America, Supertramp. 1979 release, 6th studio album by the band, hugely successful. One of my favorites. I've got the majority of their albums. 4 big hits off of this one. You've got The Logical Song, you've got Goodbye Stranger, Take the Long Way Home, of course, Breakfast in America, the title track. It's a Grammy winning album. Lord Is Mine is a beautiful song. That song again brings tears to your eyes. It's such a personal song, and sung beautifully. Start to finish, a great album. Great album. At number 24, ELO, Out of the Blue. Double album of masterpiece-ery, if that's a word, masterpiece-ery. 7th studio album released in 1977. Turn to Stone, Mr. Blue Sky, Sweet Talkin' Woman, Wild West Hero, It's Over. Love every second of this one. I love ELO. They're Jeff Lynne is a truly gifted artist. He's been involved in so much. He's a producer, he's a songwriter, singer, musician. His musicianship is just outstanding. He's an icon for sure. And great album, Out of the Blue. That's at number 24. At number 23, this just made my list, as I just picked it up recently, but man, awesome album. This is Roxy Music. This is Avalon. The 8th studio album and the final release by Roxy Music, released in 1982. It's a sleeper of a hit of an album, but becoming one of my favorites. Hit number 1 in the UK, multi-million selling album, platinum. You got More Than This, Avalon, the title track, Take a Chance with Me, When My Heart Is Still Broken, True to Life. It's a fitting end to a wonderful band and a wonderful career. That's number 23 at Roxy Music's Avalon. At number 22, Night at the Opera, Queen. I couldn't have a top 100 list without this album in it. 1975's release and the hugely successful 4th studio album. You've got You're My Best Friend, I'm in Love with My Car. You've got number 39, Sweet Lady, Seaside Rendezvous. All kinds of little ditties within the song. Bohemian Rhapsody, of course. Huge song for the band. And when you first see this video, you say, who are these guys? Such glam, such smoke and mirrors, but it's a mixture of, they mixed a mixture of classical and rock in this song, and yeah, Freddie Mercury with this. It's just a remarkable album. It's hard to describe. Yeah, it's a great album. At number 21, Cream, Disraeli's Gears, by this supergroup, Cream. 2nd studio album by the band. You got Ginger Baker, you got Jack Bruce, you got Eric Clapton. 3 huge icons in this one. Big releases off of this one. You got Strange Brew, Tales of Brave Ulysses, Sunshine in Your Love, Swobbler. Number 1 album. What more can you say? It's an amazing album. At number 20, Wish You Were Here, Pink Floyd. I could go up and down with this one or a lot of their discography. Mainly up, closer to number 1, because I just love Pink Floyd. I think they're amazing. But I'm saving a couple albums for my top 15. So I had to put this one somewhere. This is a tribute, of course, to Syd Barrett. This is their 9th studio album, released in 1975. Syd Barrett being the founding member, and his earlier stuff was remarkable, by the way. But the amazing, I can't remember the length of Shine On You Crazy Diamond. I don't know, it doesn't tell me. It goes on forever, but you don't realize it. You've got the wonderful guitar solo in it from David Gilmour. Haunting song. You got Have a Cigar, Welcome to the Machine, Vignetta Fields. amazing album. It really is amazing album. At number 19, and I'm so happy that I have this, first of all, this box set by Jethro Tull. But their very first album, another debut album, here you go. Sorry, just give me a second here. It's so different and so unique from their other stuff. This was the debut album released in 1968. The reason I say it's so unique because it's so full of blues. It's not progressive like Avalon or Thick as a Brick or any of the other albums that they had. The album itself was made with 1,200 pounds. I'm not sure how much that is in US or Canada, but it wasn't a lot for a release of an album. It was the only album to feature Mick Abrams. It was a major influence in the blues sound and style of their first songs. He left the band after this. Ian Anderson wanted to take on in a different direction, of course, more progressive, more uniqueness. But this first album is just killer blues stuff, killer bluff. My Sunday Feeling, Someday the Sun Won't Shine for You, Beggar's Farm, A Song for Jeffrey. So bluesy, so good, such good stuff. I love it. At number 18, and again, this one could be higher or lower. Some people think it's their favorite album by this band, which I agree, or their best album, should say, and perhaps it is in some ways their best album, but it's not my favorite album. My favorite album is going to appear in the top 15, but it's one of the best albums by the band. This is Deep Purple in Rock. An amazing album. It's their fourth studio album, released in 1970. It's the first version of Mark II, featuring Ian Gillan and Roger Glover. Nick Semper and Rod Evans were in the first three albums, and Deep Purple, Richie Blackmore and the rest of the band wanted to go off on a harder rockin' style. Rod Evans was a good singer, but more of a lounge singer style, as they were saying in their reviews. And so they brought in Ian Gillan, and it changed the band forever. Their fourth studio album, beginning in the Mark II version, as I said. Nick Semper was a great bass player, just as good as Roger Glover, but Roger Glover brought that beat, that rhythm to the band as well. You got Black Knight Speaking, the amazing Child in Time, featuring the vocal range of Ian Gillan. Into the Fire, Living Wreck, Hard Lovin' Woman. It's a heavy album compared to the first three albums. And of course, the first two albums had a fair amount of covers in them as well. And just wonderful stuff. At number 17, another debut album. This is Foreigner's debut album. Just full of hits in this one. Released in 1977. You got Spellbinder, Feels Like the First Time, Cold as Ice, Long Way From Home, Head Knocker. Mick Jones is a remarkable artist and guitarist, of course. Lou Gramm, one of the best vocalists of all time in that era, and just remarkable stuff. At number 16, this is the second time for this band being in this list, but it's well deserving. One of my favorite albums by them. This is The Royal Scam, Steely Dan. Probably the best album in my opinion. Some would disagree. I think it's a great album. It's remarkable from start to finish. I have most of their discography, pretty much all their discography, and I like everything about them. The thing with Steely Dan is they hire nothing but the best, and they work the song until it's just right. They hire the best studio musicians. Of course, you've got the wonderful artistry of Walter Becker and Donald Fagen in there, being the main staples of the band. This is their 5th studio release by them. Jeff Skunk Baxter had left the band, but who'd they bring in? They brought in Walter Becker, Danny Day-S, Larry Carlton, Elliot Randall, and Dean Parks. Some of the top musicians ever. As I said earlier, they sound so good because they hire nothing but the best, and they keep redoing the songs until they're just right. But even in concert, they're amazing. They're just remarkable. You've got Kid Charlemagne, The Fez, Haitian Divorce, Sign of a Stranger. It's a consistent album from start to finish. It really is. And finally, at number 15, what can you say about this album that's already been said? And this could be higher or lower, but this is the White Album. I'm saving a couple more for the top 15. I'm not going to do a review of this one because I don't think I'll do it justice. But it is the only double album by the band, this superstar lineup of amazing artists, released in 1968. It's a work of art from start to finish, in my opinion. It's so unique. So to review it wouldn't do it justice. I'll leave that up to Rachel and other aficionados of this particular band. I'm wondering it should be higher in the list perhaps, but I didn't want to make a whole list of Beatles albums, which I could have. It wouldn't leave room for other artists on this list. So there you have it. There's my top number 30 to 15 out of my top 100 list. Look at Thursday to finalize this list. It's been a lot of fun and it's been great. And thanks again for everyone. Take care. Have a great day. Bye now.